letting me know because I would have probably forgotten it. All right, so any rate, okay, all right, back over here. So events is basically, I think, our best way of getting new people, reaching new people, and communicating our vision. Because let's just face it, events, podcasting, live streaming, YouTube channels, TikTok, that is all of the rage right now. Everybody's doing it. It just makes sense that if that's, I mean, this is nothing new for us. We've been doing this for 10 years. But I think where we need to focus more on is the notifications. We've talked about it. You know, you could have the best event layout, the best, looking event in the world, but if people aren't coming to it, it's useless. You've got to have a way to get people to the event, and so we're going to use the Zap method. Of course, we can't actually turn their phone into a laser beam that zaps them, but we can do the next best thing. We can create events with Wix, which, number one website builder in the world. We can actually create the events, and then we could put a Giphy notification in the event that tags them or shoots them and zaps them, and then we can, give them the link. And that way we can create events during the day, and we'll just use events to get people coming to these things that we want them to come to. I think that's much better way of doing our ministry than just trying to do Bible studies and hoping that somebody comes to it. I mean, we're still going to do Bible studies. Obviously, that's an event, but we want to create events also that maybe a lost person or somebody that doesn't know the Lord would come to, maybe a gaming night, or like we've been talking about doing karaoke nights and things like that. We got to figure out, you know, the again, that comes back to what platform would we use for that. I mean, we could use Discord since we're on it all the time and we're using it. We could use that for our game platform, but we're going to have to figure that out, because when we zap somebody, when we invite somebody, we got to, I mean, ideally we'd want to invite them to our own website. That's the whole key, is so that we can grow our audience on our website. um I'm just not sure that either with either of the the chat rooms that we're using, the if it was the one that I showed you, the first one that has the live video chat in it, I don't know if that one would work for games or whatever. I mean, you can screen share, so it seems like you could screen share games through there, or music for people to sing karaoke, so I guess it would work for a game night. But a much better platform, I think, would probably be for that would probably be either Watch Together or Cosme or something like that. Where you have a chance to get random people coming to your event and also growing at the same time. But that would just be for game nights and that. Let's say Bible studies, or our daily shows that we want to do, which you know those could all be done on the website. So that's not even an issue. But when you're thinking of an app, obviously people are going to think mobile, they're going to think phone or tablet, And the thing is, on Wix, you can create your mobile device right on the fly. So you can make it so it looks good. You can change it, modify it. So you don't need a mobile app. You don't need to go to the app store to get it. It'll work on their phone because you actually can manipulate it from the app from making it. So it will hit their phone. And then there's another element to Wix, which if it'll prompt you when you're on the mobile to get their app. It's called Wix Spaces, and if you download it, it downloads a version of our website. It's not going to be the same. It might not have all the features and functions. It may, but it may have a limited. But it will have the blogs and the forums and the and a chat in there and everything like that, and that will trigger notifications, push notifications. So that's another thing, and it's a little complicated, and I don't want to like complicate the process here, like make it difficult for people. But you are going to get, if you join it, you're going to get prompted to get the mobile app for our website, and it's really easy. It sounds complicated, but it's really not. You just download it, the Wix app, to your phone, and then it'll have the link you right into our website. But anyway, or you just go through Chrome and it works perfect, and you can get notifications and everything like that. I know that because I get them, tested that out. It works. Um, the biggest thing is Bugs Bunny. The biggest thing is we need to figure out. So, you know, again, my goal was to embed that chat room into our website, and it's because of the pricing and the issues with that, I couldn't do it. So that, but you see how simple it is to log in from here, from the website, and get right into that chat room. Now, I like that chat room a lot. I think it is well built, well designed. It's high quality, and I think anybody that comes there for like an event, and that's where we'll have our events for now. So like Thursday night, we'll do our Bible study in there, and like we did the other night, whatever. But I will get in. I will get more involved in the process with that other one because I really like how what's called whereby, um, how it pops up in the site and everything. Hey, how you doing there, Caleb? I was just sharing with Game Warrior some of my latest work that I've been doing here, trying to figure out a common place for us to meet as a group, and getting that together so that we can have. We're getting some people that are starting to come into our group from other places, and if we have a like if we decided we were going to use Discord or whatever, then we'd say, let's all meet at Discord. Everybody would know that and all that. But I don't know that I want to use Discord for all. I want to have my own website. I think that's the only way to really grow. Is really truly is to have your own place, because then if something happens and whatever, we've had other sites that we've been on that have closed up, folded up. I don't see Discord doing that. They seem to have a good platform, but you never know. But anyway, I was showing him something that I did here. This is Wix. They their claim to fame, and this is not them, this is the people that vote, whoever those people are that vote on website builders. This is supposedly the number one website builder in the world right now, and it has been for a number of years. I've used Wix for a lot of projects, but it's like Zoom. I'm not 100% on how it looks typically and how it functions. It's sometimes, it's just not all that good to me, but yet everybody claims it is. But then I started fooling around with it on this project, and I just like the way that it actually functions. But let me show you this real quick. So this site would be, I believe it's, in my mind, in my spirit, is the direction that I want to go in with this ministry online, and that is events. Using events to tag people into what we're doing, because when we do the Sunday night live stuff and we're streaming, last week we streamed again, and we had 4 or 5 people again on Wire Club, but I had nobody in there to help me. So those people came in, were asking questions, wanted to know what this was all about, and I was trying to, be in 5 different places at once, and I got to get more help on Wire. But you guys are doing a good job. You did a good job, and Mazzello, and I think that ministry is starting to grow a little bit. And then, of course, our Discord. Um, but whenever we do those things, we get people. It seems to be the most successful thing we do. And by the way, events, podcast, streaming sites, YouTube Live, TikTok, all of that formula, as it were, it seems to be what people are really into right now. Now, we've kind of been doing a version of this for 10 years in our own way, so it's nothing new to us. But I think what is new to us is actually having like daily events where you invite people through the event to it. And the notifications part of it, we talked about this, before, on being zapped and all of that. And well, the idea is still, we can't turn your phone into a laser beam or anything and zap you, but if we could, we would. No, but this kind of shows you just right here. This is a get fit spiritually. This is the I guess you would kind of say like a sermon series or a daily show that I'm going to start doing if we use this. And then, of course, these are just different things here. If you come down here, there's a live chat, and you can, come in here and do Giphy files and all of that, memes. You can chat, text chat. You can join it just as a guest. You're automatically a guest. You don't even have to sign up. But if you want to, you can sign up and use your name here. You can connect with the members. This is a girl that joined from Wire Club just recently. She's brand new. Bugs Bunny. I didn't even know he was a real person. He joined. And then, of course, and then our events. So you go down here, and here's the beginning of the idea of the vision, to get people to events. And so we put some down. This is what I was going to explain. I explained it to GameWire that I tried to embed, as you go here real quick and show you, I tried to embed this chat into the website, the one that we just used, that we really liked it and everything. So here's the problem. They basically came back and said, oh yeah, you can embed it, but you can't embed it on the self-serve plans. You got to get our plans. They start at $6,000 a month. and then you could embed it in your website. And I'm like, oh, no thanks. However, I was able to easily create a button that they can click on, and then they can join over here. Our events could still be done in here. I really like this. This is real time. You see it in real time, like watching TV. It's not like, oh, I got to start my YouTube and then now you're in a different place. No, this is all synced up, like, watch together software. So I've already tested that out. So basically, I like the way this sets up. It looks like a movie screen. I really like this. This is expensive software. This is not cheap. But I'm actually right now using it for $5 a month because of the basic plan, just to test it out. But anyway, I wanted to show you that we could still use it, and we could use it for our events here. And of course, you're not going to have the best chat, but for just purposes of doing events where you're trying to get new people in here, we could communicate in here okay with that chat, and it would get us by until, maybe something else comes along. However, I think this would work, for that purpose. But then if you come down here, again, you see all the events. You can connect with people. This this is a membership site. You join it, and as you join it, you can group chat. You can create chats. You can instant message people. Here's a group chat right here. And again, these chats they're not going to have Giphies and all of that, but then, you have a little, we do that. But the main point of this is you could direct message each other and so on and so forth. And quick messages, this would be a way for us to actually keep in touch with each other through here. It's not going to be perfect. You can't video and audio chat each other like on some of the other apps. You're giving up something because we have to figure something out. Not everything has to be video and audio either. But this allows for notifications. You get notifications from the site, like because your email is you set up with your email. When you join with your email, whatever, you're going to get notifications. I've already tested it out; it works. So you know what's going on. You get that. You have that on this app or this site. If you want to do Giphies, you come over here and you can do all that. So you just can't do them in that one. You know what I mean? One video chat. All right, there's that. Okay, so you see this, and again, there's a forum over here, and in the forum you can do. There's all kinds of. This is what we're going to use probably with like sending out content like on FeedSpot and whatnot. Well, see, we embedded this, but then it didn't work, so I'll have to take that off of there. But you can see that there's you can post in here and stuff, and then you can also see where other people have responded to post. You can respond, you can reply, you can share the post, you can send it to social media, tell all your friends come and join the site. All right, that's kind of the idea. And there's also a blog, and then whatever, there's a little blog that interacts, and then there's members. You see who the members are. You can message people, you can follow people. So it would work, um, for what we need. But what's unique about it is the biggest thing about this is the events. because Wix allows you to create really awesome events. Now people can RSVP the event, which means that they can let you know they're coming. And then the event you can create. This is where you would create the notification, the zap, as it were. It won't let me open. Well, will it let me open it? Let's see. Yeah, I can RSVP. There it is. I wanted to show you what the event looked like. But you could create, you could send a Giphy file with a laser character being laser beam, and it would, you could either that, or you could make just notifications that you send them out. You send them to your friends, send them to social media. And the whole thing about notifications is the key to this, because even though we can't, we don't have the software yet, we haven't created all that yet for phones. I think at some point, maybe down the road, the Lord willing, that could be a great idea. I think it would change and revolutionize the way people are hosting events. The biggest problem with events is people spend all this time and money creating the event and they have lousy notifications. They're sending out notifications through Facebook, and they're sending it out months ahead. I get email. I get emails of webinars that are like a month out. I'm not going to remember something the next day, let alone a month out. So my idea is you send out the notification a week before, and then the day of the event, you have three different notifications that go out on the day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and then like 15 minutes before the event, you're sending another notification out. And you say, well, how would you do that? Well, you get all the people. Either you got to figure out, are you going to do it on email? Are you going to email blast them, or are you going to text them on their phone? The best way is to text them on their phone. So, I mean, there are programs that you can literally just get a texting program that will send out notifications, and you can set it up so it will do it for you. You just give it the parameters. You say, hey, I want you to send this out on this date, this time, and it'll automatically send them out to, it could be any, on people on your phone. It could be, whatever. If you have a lot of emails, I mean, this is how you got to think. If you're going to get people to your events, you got to think outside of the box. Now, it's a little bit of work to do that, but you can also use there's programs like for emails. I told you I have an email list, probably about 200 people that are just people that are involved in some way or another, that they don't come to events, they don't come to anything, probably because we're not emailing them or we're not getting them involved in that. Think about people from the past. Think about Hannah and Jordan and people that you never hear from anymore. But guess what? I got their emails because I was messaging them on Google, and Google records and keeps all those emails. If you just type in somebody's name, you'd be surprised that all of a sudden their email will pop up. You sent them an email in the past, it'll pop up, and now you got an email list. Well, anyway, I'm getting too into this, but I wanted to show you the idea behind using events. An event could be anything. Now, one of the events, the idea was to create a daily show, and that was what you saw there. Was that, and that would be a half hour Monday through Friday thing that I would do. Now that might get people that wouldn't come at night, but maybe they'll come in the daytime, and who knows? We'll see how that would work if we decided to do it. Okay, so that Caleb, a blast. I wish I could blast people. Just poo. No, I like that. I might have to use that as, what, I'm gonna save that. I saved it. I might use that one on a notification because it's funny. I don't want to scare people like, oh man, pastor's going to blast us with a gun. Some people shouldn't use guns. smiling. The other thing was, and I wanted to show you this too. Um, is we have this site that I started working on, and this one here is is very raw. Bible blast, and it shows you, what I like this be, just a little bit. It's not that it's better, it's just a little bit more clear as to what we're actually doing. Okay, Bible blast, that's Thursday night at 9. So if you come down here, there's a video chat that's in, it beds into this. Now, before we get any further, you say, well, why didn't you just put this in Wix? Well, because Wix doesn't allow you to do live video on their platform. It's I don't know why they just block it. So you're not able to add. This is called Whereby. It used to be called Appear.in. It's been around about 10 years. It's a video chat system, and this one here, you can basically share your screen. The chat is nothing to be desired. It's just, again, I don't know why they can't invest more in the chats on these. The only one that ever did was Circle. But anyway, you don't need this because, boom, you go right down here and there you are. You're in the chat. There you got Mr. Bean. So you can basically do chatting and Giphies at the same time in here. This also has a screen share, which would allow you to stream in real time. So you could stream YouTube videos. And if you stream from the dashboard rather than here, if I'm on the dashboard and I stream it from there, there's like a whiteboard. There's different things that you can share. Here, you can only just share whatever, like a regular screen. But if you go from the dashboard, I don't know why I don't do it here. If you go to the dashboard, you have more things. So you could actually do like whiteboard and all kinds of things. So this would be, again, this is very raw. I haven't done much to this yet. I wanted to make sure that the things worked. But events, you could. I'm trying to figure out a way to create events on here, and that's one of the problems. Sermons. Yeah, you can see it's just kind of raw. It's AI technology, and then once AI is done, once they've created the basic idea, then you go in and edit it. You add your sermons, you can add audios, all that. But that's just something that you could do. But the thing that this has a domain with it, it has an email with it. I think I paid $1 for the domain, and then it goes up after 3 months to I think $12 a month, which I mean not a month, a year, which isn't bad. The domain is like Christian app dot online, which is a pretty decent domain. But the problem with this one is I don't know how you would get notifications because it doesn't have membership. Maybe there's a way to add membership. I don't know. I haven't got that deep into it. Once I figure that out, I'll be able to know whether or not I would use this. Because whatever we use, we got to have notifications or else there's no sense in doing it. If people don't get reminders, and we can't just rely on us sending out stuff all the time. I mean, that could be a way to do notifications. And there is something that you can add to a website. It's called web push or something like that. and you add a line of code to your site, and then it pops up whenever somebody joins it. It says, "Do you want notifications? Yes, no." And if you click yes, it sends them notifications to their desktop. Um, Not sure how it works on mobile, but at least from the computer, you would get notifications. Uh, Again, don't know how it works on mobile, and I don't really know that that's. I don't want to go that deep into it and all of that. Um, it's just a crying shame that some of these apps that have memberships, that have all these things, they don't have decent enough features that allow us to do the kinds of things that we wanted to do. The other thing that we could do, if we just if all of this sounds like it's just a lot of work and maybe not very much gain from it, you might be right. And who I don't I'm me for one, I don't want to sit here and do a lot of work if it's not going to be work that's going to produce fruit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to sit here and do things that aren't going to produce fruit. So even though this one has a really nice setup, layout, I mean, but you could put that video chat on just about any site in the world. You could actually put it on Ning, which Ning is pretty much a social network. I've used it in the past. It's it's a decent app. It has no video chat. So if you put that video chat up and you can HTML it right in there, that might be a. But the problem is which is really weird, is some of the interfaces or the platforms that you try to embed something in, like, it'll make it really small. And when you go in there and even manipulate the size, like the pixels, to make it larger in the code, like, you can go in and, if you know how to do that, you can go into the code and you can manipulate that to make it doesn't work. So you get a thumbnail version and it wouldn't work. How can you video chat in that? So some sites don't work at all. But usually with that one, it'll work. So maybe if it's not this site, if we really like the video chat popping up like that. But the other thought was, whereby the one that I just showed you, this one, um, go back here. This one doesn't have what we call a persistent chat room. What's a persistent chat room? Discord. When you chat and you come back the next day, you still see the chat, right? You still see the chat. If you go into the one that we were just in, the one that was real pricey and so we couldn't embed it, that has a persistent chat room. I mean, I closed it, so I don't want to open it again, but basically you could go in there and you could find the chat. You can click on any one of these buttons to get in here, and then you could go back here to the chat. And I want to show you what I mean. So we're trying to make a decision. It's important to understand everything that we're talking about here. But if you go up here to the room chat, you can see the chat from the other day. See, it's still there. But if you use that other chat, the one that in the green one that you saw, that's not persistent chat. In other words, every time you open it, it closes and wipes out all the chat history. There's no chat history. So when somebody comes in, it's like using Zoom. It's a new chat every time. Now, that's not necessarily a game breaker, but those are the things you think about. I want people to come to a chat room so that if they want to leave a message, they can leave a message in here and we'll know they came in. Even though we miss them, we can go, oh, okay, so and so was here. I'll just I'll text them a message, and but hopefully people will know when we're on, what times we're on. With this system of events, it should help clear up where we are, when we are, and all of that. And that's a huge thing. People don't know when you're on, they're not gonna come to your events. If they don't know where you are, they're not gonna come to your events. So we're basically the way we're running right now, we're not keeping anybody. We're not getting new people. Even when we get new people, they're not coming to anything because they don't know when we're on. You could tell somebody 9 o'clock, and the next day they don't remember that. You got to hit them with that notification. And notifications, like I said, if you give somebody an email notification nowadays, most people have it hooked up to their mobile. So it's hitting their phone, it's pinging it. I get that all the time. How many of you get email blasts from Gmail or whatever to your phone? You do. You get that. Well, that's what we're going to use, hopefully. That's one of the things. All right, so that's it's hard to carry out conversation without persistence. I know it's weird because the first time I heard even the word persistent chat was that app. I've always just thought of it as archive chat. I just used the word archive, and then they're saying, "Oh yeah, we have persistent chat," and now AT&T is talking about that on their platform. Oh, we have persistent chat. Well, who knew that was a thing? Who knew that was important to people? But it is. That's what Discord is. That's why, it's one of in fact, what's really weird is what I'm finding now as a trend. Like, for instance, whereby the chat, the one I just showed you in the green room. Jeez, we're all confused now. What chat? What chat are you talking about? The one I just showed you, whereby they have a Discord channel. And a lot of companies are using Discord now for running their help desk, and if you got questions and you want to know, they're using Discord for that because of the way that Discord, has persistent chat. And most things today are not persistent. They're like what you call one and done. You go in there one time and it's done. Wire Club is like that. If you go in Wire Club and chat now, they used to archive the room. You could see a chat in there for a week. Now they've gone. The only thing they've updated was they got rid of that. They got rid of persistent chat. Now they're more like old archaic than they were before. But anyway, the point is we have to decide, and I don't have enough. I'm not sure that, like, if that other site had like a way for us to have members and where people could instant message each other, follow each other. Those are the basic things I've always felt you had to have. At least that, I mean, if you're not able to connect with each other, then what's the sense of having that? It's just a website. That's just any old website. You have to have those features, in my opinion. I mean, we're saying we want to bring everybody onto one platform. For what? So that we can communicate with each other. I want to be able to, you know if somebody needs prayer, if somebody needs, encouragement or whatever. That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea of why we went online, was to be a community. And so I think the closest thing right now that I have is this Wix site because of that. I don't think there's, and because you could use this room and it's persistent and it's just a click away. I mean, yeah, it takes them out of the website, but who cares? It does have chat. Is the chat perfect? No, far from it. Wow, I got like 15 things open. That's crazy. Well, I don't need all that open. Let me close all that. Okay, so let's go back here now. So you have this site. It looks good. I think it does. You can chat. The problem is that people don't respond, and that's an issue. Whether or not they're getting notifications, or if they're even paying attention to the notifications. Now, I did tell her we're working on the site, and there's really not a whole lot of activity here at all. Really zero activity because I haven't opened it up. But you get badges. There's things that little fun things that go with this. It's not just it is a membership site. It's not going to be as the other thing. The last but not least is we could go back now with Circle. We could circle back to circle back. But Circle, you have to create a free account. And when you create a free account, it's only good for like 14 days, and then it goes it doesn't go back to a free account. It just basically freezes until you purchase it. So I've got like six six different Circle sites right now and six different emails. Oh, because I've tested it out so many times. So literally, I'm out of emails. I would have to literally create another Gmail and go in. I'm not going to pay for it yet until we know that they got the mobile fixed. But I would like to open it up again and maybe test it out just between us three and see how the mobile is on it now. If they fix the problems, Circle is still the best thing out there because it does absolutely everything that we need it to do, and it's out of the box. I mean, there's enough other ways of communicating on there with the real time chat rooms and things where you really don't need the persistent chat in the video because that doesn't really matter because you can persistent chat in so many different places on there, and with Circle you get all of the things right in one space, which they did it the right way. They created, I don't know why, all of these sites, none of them have Giphy files or memes or any other way, which is one of the number one ways people communicate now by far. I told you now that there's actual, they took the meme, some one of the main meme corporations, made it to stock market level. It's ridiculous. But what would you guys think about trying that out again? We said we wanted to test it out again. I don't think we can totally make an educated decision about where we want to start. I mean, to end up with our community. We need to get the community going though, because if we're going to start doing events and things like Sunday nights are starting to happen, we got to pull those people together. And some people, they don't want to come on Discord. Some people, they'd be like this new girl that joined. She was like, "Hey, I want to. Do you have a website? I'd like to join it." Yeah, I do. And this is the only thing I could offer her, but this doesn't even nearly compare with the ease of a Circle. Well, you would hope they would. I mean, I don't know how many other people were having problems. I mean, I've searched the internet to find out, and there's just not a lot of information on their mobile infrastructure. I mean, it could have been that it was just our particular site, or maybe a few dense sites that were having the issue. Maybe we get a new instance of it and it works. Oh, the app reviews. Are you seeing app reviews? Maybe you saw something I didn't see. What are they like? This app is crap. Oh, on the Play Store? Okay. I know if you just do a Google search, it nothing pops up that I could see. But that would, well, if you look up that might be more relevant. I still don't understand how you know, can run a site with that kind of, you know, mobile app features and not have tested it and rid of all the bugs, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. But like I said, I mean, it doesn't cost us anything. I've always seen posts show up under the wrong thread, temporarily awkward when replying. The one saving grace of the app does have email notifications. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, remember we said it wouldn't refresh in real time the chat. It was like in staggered time. But when you went through Chrome, it worked fine. I mean, I guess you could just tell people don't get the app, just go through Chrome and rely on the email notifications. I mean, that is one way to get around it. But, if you're going to pay the money, that was my whole complaint. Is it would be one thing if it was like $20 a month. And you're talking $100 a month to get everything that you need, and then you gotta tell people, go through Chrome, like we were doing that, and but then I was getting the notifications. I didn't have that problem from the app. We were getting notifications. That was the one thing I said. We can use it even if it was just for the push notifications. Our problem was we weren't getting all the messages that were coming through when we were doing the live streams. And if we were just chatting in the chat room, it would you wouldn't see it. Notifications used to work except if our administrator sent something ironic, but in the last few days, no notifications. So frustrating. That was March 9th. I've tried everything I can think of and nothing is working. One feature that is available in the web app is that you can edit your post when Otto thinks he knows better than you what work you wanted. It's nice to be avoid to go back and fix those posts. I hate to say it, January 9th, 2024, but I think the web interface is better designed than the native app, at least on Android. I also have major problems with notifications in the app. It was a big surprise to log on the web app and see messages and reactions that were days old that had never surfaced in the native app. No wonder I couldn't clear my unread. March 14th, 2023. It is buggy. I attempt to type a comment and it locks up. Hits the enter button a few times, jumps in the paragraph. It takes 10 minutes to type 3 lines. Very frustrating. That could just be your internet connection. Circle. We apologize for the difficulties you've experienced. Fortunately, we have some issues with some Samsung devices with Android 13. We are working on improving it. If you would like some assistance or additional information, please contact us. But we were having this problem on Apple, on Android. So, yeah, okay. Well, you would think though that they would fix that because it would be affecting a lot of people. You would think. All right, so I mean, it's not going to cost us anything to test it out again, and I think I would like to just do it. We don't have to change everything up, and you know, I'm just talking about doing a beta test between us three. And if we get on there in the first day, the last update for the app was May 9th. Okay. Okay. Well, the only way is to test it. So I'll get an instance of it going tomorrow, and then maybe if we come on tomorrow night to do a live thing on any of the sites, or maybe we could just do a test night because we need to eliminate Circle altogether. If it's still got problems, we'll know it right away, and we'll just shelf it for another year or whatever. Maybe we can keep looking into that later on. But then we have to make a decision, and I have to ask you guys which do you like better? Do you like the one that has the video chat right in the on the page, or do you care about that, or do you just like the one that on Wix that has like the button that goes to the really cool chat room? Which one would you guys say would be the best one for us to, if we were to kick something off? So you like the Wix one, you like the one with the video. All right, this is what we're going to do, because I'm kind of leaning towards the Wix one too, simply because of the functionality that it has. But I'm looking for, what am I looking for? You guys are going to think I'm crazy. I have a quarter. We'll flip a coin. Heads, Wix. Tails, tails, the other one. Okay, here we go. Tails. That's the other one. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually just kidding, but I would have to look into that. It's called webdor. Webador. Um, I would literally have to get into to see if it does have any way of membership, but again, I'm not sure if it does. I mean, it's a cool site. It does look good, and it has if it had notifications and membership and all of that, it's real easy to edit it too. I think it could be maybe an option. I mean, you can do a lot with it. Um, I would probably have to go to Webador to see if they actually have. membership. I mean, there's a ton of websites. If you really like that, let me show you something that just to give you an idea of something else because I really want to confuse you guys tonight. That's my whole point. No, I'm just kidding. uh, Here's a site I built on Ning. This is my local Detroit site. It's basically, you get a timeline going, you got, a bunch of things. Membership. Oh, one thing that's cool about it is I'm trying to figure out where that is actually. Oh, it's because I'm not logged in. Once I sign in, I can show you this. What? Oh, why is it doing that? I can't remember what. I guess that's it. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember, man. It's been a while since I've been on the site, but I think this is it. Okay. Yeah. All right. So if you go down here, there's a chat. You can see it right here. Oh, I disconnected it. There it is. So it's got a chat room right here at the bottom. It's persistent chat. You can chat in here, and all kinds of things. This is all in the site, all built in. So imagine this was on that green site right here. You'd have your live video chat right here because it would work in here. So you can share things up here, like a timeline and all that stuff. It's got your own page. You get your own like profile. Really, you know, everything, all your activity. It's a social network platform. So you got any video posts, blog posts, discussions. You got forums. Um, none, none going. Okay, but there's like articles, videos, polls, forums, all that kind of stuff. This thing's loaded with stuff, photos, videos, articles. If you don't have one, you can add one. You know, so basically, you could do everything on this. You get the idea. But what you could do is you could create that whole thing on here and then have, you could have as many or as little features as you want. You don't have to have all these features. But basically it's pretty simple to work with. And I mean, they've been around forever. I've had Ning sites probably for going back 10 years, maybe 12 years. They haven't done a whole lot with the platform. It's the only problem with it is they don't update anything on it, even though it's pretty much set. It's good. It's no problems with it. And if you have a problem, they respond like within 5 minutes. I mean, they're there. But there's really never any problems. But anyway, I mean, if we wanted to do embedding a real live chat like that, we could do it on here. It would work. But again, these are just ideas. There's a ton of ideas. Um, but the thing that, again, you would have the chat here. But the problem with this site because it's not mobile oriented, it's mainly desktop oriented. You do sign up with your email, so you would probably get email notifications. I don't really know how that works on here because I haven't used it in so long. But again, then that would be, an issue with your notifications. It doesn't have a mobile app or anything with it. You're basically using Chrome and your phone. Um, Again, don't know how it would work on your phone to view the video chat. It should work okay. I know Minute Chat works on mobile. There's a code that you can put in your website that will work. That's the one with the Giphy files and all that. So I know that works, and I'm pretty sure the one that, because I've looked at it on mobile, it works. But anyway, again, it's just another idea, a thought. But you can get to the point where you got too many ideas going, and then you get nowhere. That's a sinking ship as well. That's what I'm saying, right? Oh my gosh, who was that guy? Was that supposed to be like Steve Jobs or something from Apple? It looks like that, like, I don't know, like a sinking ship. All right. So anyway, I don't know if that other site, like I said, I'm not seeing any membership. I don't know how you get notifications. So that would be a dead situation with that one. With Ning, I don't know how it would work. It's an old technology. I don't really know how it would work. That's the only thing. I probably wouldn't use Ning. I just did it to confuse you guys. To show you. But it was at one point back in the day one of the best social networking apps around. But they don't, you know, everything moved into mobile. And, mobile apps are everything now. And the ease of being able to get your phone and search something, you got to be able to do that. You got to be able to offer that to people. If you don't have that, like if for instance Wix, you can actually create your phone on mobile. It gives you the option to view it or look at it and edit it on mobile, a tablet, and a desktop. So when it's done, it's going to fit, it's going to work because you manipulated it to the app. You made it. Plus, Wix has a mobile app now. It pretty much tells you to download it. It's called Spaces, and with Wix, those spaces are discoverable. Other people can find your content and everything. But what it does is it just creates a mini version of your website. It has your blogs and your forum posts, and you'll get push notifications through that. I have it, but it's easier just to tell people to go through Chrome because then you don't have to sit there and go. But people are going to see it. It sits right at the top of your mobile, and it says, "Download this." But anyway, so I just like the way this looks. It just looks like us. It looks like what we are, even though I don't really like this logo. I tried to find something, an icon that I could put over there, and nothing was working. And I just popped up, and I'm like, all right, I'll just throw this in there. But this little wink smiley face. But I like this. I think it works. It could work for our events and things, but It's not as complete as like a circle site, which is simple. And, and- all right, so that's it for tonight. How's everybody's week going so far? That's why I love getting together with you guys. That's why we got to have gifts. Giphy files are the way, they're the best way to communicate. Chugging right along. Well, at least you came into the week one day shorter than it usually is. Did you do anything yesterday for Memorial Day? It was weather was terrible here. It was kind of rainy, cloudy, and cold. You ate hot dogs. Did you make them yourself? Uh, did you have any potato salad? You gotta have potato salad with that hot dog. No, we got some Nathan's dogs from Nathan's, and I made hamburgers on the George Foreman because it was kind of terrible weather outside, unfortunately. But we just had a little get to not very many people, just a little get together. So what? Yeah, I'm just my biggest thing, and I'll close is that if we're starting to get people, and how are we doing it? We're doing it with the Sunday night, with the live streams, and with syncing those things together. And if we had a way to collect all those people under one site, just think how fast we could grow, and have a community site like that. Um, there's just not a lot of community um, sites out there that have everything we need. And even if there are sites out there, they're very expensive. I mean, that's one thing that like inflation has really hit is these sites since COVID. People could price them more because everybody was dependent on it. So they were raising their price gouging, platforms, software. And I can't believe how much this one site, I went on it maybe like 10 years ago and I tried it out. Like in the very beginning when it was first going on, it was called Communifier. And it had like, I mean, the guy was just building it. I mean, I could literally talk to the designer, the owner, and I could say, hey, he would ask me what I wanted, what I needed. And then I would say, well, what we really need is a timeline so that, like Facebook, so that when we post and we wanted to have, videos to be able to play in the stream. And that's what was important to us then. He's like, well, I can make that for you. So he redesigned something, and the next day he had it all working, and I was able to get on there, and it was really cheap. Went back like a couple years later, we ended up not using it, and it was like, I don't know, $500 a month or something at this point. I mean, he had just totally raised the prices, and you just can't find community platforms anymore. Like when I first came on the scene, like in 2012, 13, they were everywhere. Everybody was doing community. You could find platforms everywhere. Well, then Facebook came along. You got to remember Facebook really didn't get going. I don't know when it started, but it really wasn't as popular until after sort of that time period. Now they were, I think, already around, but they weren't getting the huge. But then all of a sudden, Facebook and Twitter, they all started taking all the community away, and then pretty soon these community sites just started dying off like the dinosaurs. They went the way of the dodo bird. This one guy, he was another one that I knew him. So I used to use his platform, and he was pretty cool about it. But he had he told me, he said, I'm getting out of this business. He goes, while the getting's good, he goes, there's not going to be any community sites left. He goes, everybody's going to just use social media. And I said, oh man, I hope not. I said, we need independence from it. And he's like, yeah, well, and then he was right. I mean, to a certain degree, he was right, because a lot of these sites, but now there are community platforms. They're coming back. But the community platforms now are all geared around businesses, companies, supply chains, people that are, everybody and their brother is going to have a video, audio option for customers now on their websites. And that's where it all went. And when they did that, what they did was they eliminated the communities, the personal, the groups, people that just want to get together and chat and have, their own communities. Oh, you got to go to Facebook groups and do it. Or you got to go to Twitter Spaces, which I won't do because, number one, that never works. It never works because people are a lot of Christians got sick of Facebook during the COVID, and they didn't want you know Zuckerberg telling them what to do. So they were like, we're done with this. And I've had people tell me, they don't come on there anymore. And I'm like, well, are you doing any chatting anywhere? No, or we don't even go on social media. I'm like, well, you should come back. We're still doing it. Oh yeah, where are you at now? And I tell them, and then I never see them. So hopefully we'll start seeing them. Anyway, all right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow night. We'll try to do something. Maybe I'll have a few more answers. Eliminate things as we go along, which is what we normally do. Just eliminate it until there's like nothing left, and then we'll see what happens. We always eat. At least we have Discord. Discord is like that friend that never goes away. It's always there, no matter what. Uh, all right, man. Well, you guys have a good night. Have a good day tomorrow. We'll see you.